Well, Gary, a good workout for the side this evening. I know it's only pre-season, but good to get a win on the board.
Yeah, of course, but the 90 minutes, another 90 minutes was the main part of it. Yeah, some pleasing stuff, like I expected. Some pleasing stuff, and then some stuff that we need to get better at. Thought first half we were very good, and then second half, I think we kind of put ourselves in a position where we weren't as good with the balls we were in the first half, and then ended up being in a situation what we want to try and get away from this season. So still a lot of work to do, but yeah, ultimately if you win games, it's good. It's always good for confidence, but I'm not really looking at it at this stage. That really kicks in for next week, but yeah, it's 90 minutes under the belt. That's the main aim.
Yeah, signs of what you want to do, especially very noticeable at the back as well. One of those players that obviously essentially played a part in a clean sheet as well. Kel Watt's one of the new signings. Comfortable on the ball, carrying out our defence is what you want to see. Yeah,
we did really well first half with it, and it was good to see a lot of really good stuff and building. Now we've kind of been working on, and then and yeah, second half it's something for us to work on. But second half we didn't do it well enough. We didn't do it when it's natural to be in a winning position, a little bit protective minded. It's like we want to try and get away from that this season as much as we can, and we will do. But it's just all part of the process, isn't it, of learning and. It's all new, do you know what I mean, in terms of what we're working on, and new for the players, and we've got some young players in amongst that as well, so it's just work to do. So we need to be able to do what we did in the first half for 90 minutes. That's our ultimate aim, so that's what we're just working towards.
Is that just down to mindset in terms of wanting them to be a little bit more front-footed?
Yeah, a bit of everything. We're at this stage of the season, we're fit, but match sharpness isn't there, and then you've got the psychology of these type of matches, and do you know what I mean? You're going to have periods of pressure against you and stuff like that. Even though ultimately, I think it was only one chance we really gave up in that situation. So from a defensive point of view, second half was good. A lot of it was good, but I think what you saw first half was more what we're trying to fight for. And again, it's just part of the process. There's no criticism of it. It's just about learning, and spoke to them afterwards about it, and they get it as well. Do you know what I mean? I actually asked them the question what they think, and quite often they have the right answers, isn't it? So, but it's after the fact. So it's all part of the process of learning and improving. So, but there's some really good bits, some really good stuff that we can really take, and they can take confidence from. But it's about doing it. Our ultimate aim is to be able to do that for as longer periods as we can, and when it comes into the season.
Obviously, some lovely link-up play all over the park, really, especially that first 45, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Shane Lavery gets his goal, but I thought even aside of his goals, his work rate tonight was brilliant, ran the flanks well, and just caused them all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, and that's what Shane gives you, and you can see his quality, and not just with the ball against the ball, and he's a live wire, isn't he? He's a nuisance, he's a pest, he can run, he can pretty much do a lot of what we want. So I thought he was excellent tonight, all the way through. And that's not criticism of anyone else or anything like that, but yeah, it was really pleasing to see him. And there's some really good individual as well as team performance in that first 45 and then throughout the night. But I think as a manager, you're a little bit more critical, aren't you? Because you kind of want it all now. But I understand, we are early days at this, and it is all completely new for the players. So, but we're enjoying it. I can see that they're enjoying it. Wasn't so enjoyable second half, but ultimately they did. Sometimes we're going to have to face it this season. We're going to have to do the dirty work and grind it out. We're not saying it's going to be completely, what we saw in the first half, all our own way. But I think it's just about having a longer periods. Do you know what I mean? You could understand second half if it was last 10 minutes of games or something like that. But we want to stretch what we saw in the first half for as long as we can throughout the game. That's our aim this season.
And encouraging to get Corey Smith on the pitch. He looks a class act, doesn't he?
Yeah, and you can see it, couldn't you? You can see his experience and his use of the ball. I think that, understandably, in the second half when you take that off the pitch, obviously affects it a little bit, but that isn't the whole reason. When that happens, that can happen in a match. It's for everyone else to take responsibility to continue doing what we were doing, and I think we just went away a little bit from that in the second half, and but that's fine. Do you know what I mean? That's just part of the learning for the players and for us as coaches, and to try and help the players to see that and show them it, and then keep pushing forward to try and get more and more of what we're doing. But the pleasing bit is it's the attitude and the application's been brilliant, and I think you can see they're really trying to do it, but it'll just be a case of gaining experience with it, won't it, and being in tough situations and moments mentally and stuff like that where you have to show that personality even in that tough moment to get back to what we want to do, and I'm sure that will come, and so overall very, very pleased, but like anything, you want more, don't you? So we just continue to focus and work like that.
One of the players out there showed plenty of application this evening, Jubber. What's the situation with him, Gary? Is he still on the transfer list, or what's the?
No, I said it in a week. Look, when you make those those sort of ideas or decisions, it's not like done with. I don't believe the door's ever closed. Often in those situations, it's some players will, when you speak to them like that, they'll just blame everyone else and it's everyone else's fault and just give up the ghost. But I think Jib's the way he's gone about it, and he's come back in, he's really put himself, applied himself, and I thought he was fantastic tonight. I thought as an individual performance, I thought that was a very, very good performance. So now I'm really pleased with him. He's a great lad. Do you know what I mean? And you don't ever shut the door on it, but I always believe that players make your decisions. Do you know what I mean? And they make your decisions by their performances. Do you know what I mean? And how they are in training every day. So ultimately, the way he's going about it, he's forcing those decisions, and all credit to him. So he's a brilliant lad. He's really good with the group, and his performances this pre-season, throughout even though it's only pre-season, has been of a high level. So very good.
There are three other players we haven't seen so far: Ryan Loft, Taylor Richards, and Gary Gardner. Do you expect to perhaps get a few minutes into them tomorrow against Colchester?
No, unfortunately, those Lofty, Gary Gardner, and who have I said? Lofty, Guards, and Jordan Cousins, unfortunately, have picked up knocks. So they're set back a little bit. How long that'll be, we don't quite know. It'll probably be a couple of weeks, the way we're looking at it, which isn't helpful. But Taylor will be playing some minutes tomorrow, so that's good to get him on the pitch. But this is part of it. It seems to, nothing ever goes smooth, so I'm used to that now anyway. But what we're trying to do is work with what we can work with and get those guys on the pitch as soon as we can.
Thanks, Gary. Cheers.
Cheers.